Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now today's video is going to be taking a look at the EW livestream that happened only just over an hour ago now, taking a look for the first time at the new reserve Mississippi Acres, which will be coming to all platforms on December 7th. It was a really cool look at the new map and I am so excited. There's a lot of really cool stuff to go over in this video, as well as going over the patch notes and some other things that have been also included with the new map. So all of these screenshots are taken from the EW livestream as mentioned. I will also link that in the description if you guys want to go and watch it. And just starting off, taking a look at what some of the outposts on this new map look like. And honestly, they are really aesthetically pleasing. I really do actually like what they've done with these particular outposts, especially with the fact that inside there's actual taxidermy mounts and stuff. It's nice to see just extra details like that. It really just helps to make the map feel a little bit more complete. And things like this, even where you have to go and rest, there's another whitetail mount. And it looks like they have the legacy racks on as well rather than the tree racks, which is really nice. But now let's take a look at the first most important thing in my opinion, and that is the map itself. So you guys can see here, this is what the new map itself actually looks like. You can see there's a couple of different sections. You've got kind of like a grassy side down there in the bottom right, and then you've got the river sort of going up through, mainly through the middle, winding its way through different, like, it looks like agricultural land, farmland plots. And yeah, it's a really gorgeous map. They ran around and did a lot of showing of what the environment actually looks like, and it is really beautiful. Lots of really nice looking environment, lots of nice water textures and stuff like that, which again I'll take a look at a little bit later. But it's actually quite a large map. It doesn't look very big, but Jaxie Beard said that when you actually play it, it is actually quite large. And I can imagine actually having to navigate around the river is going to make that a little bit of a harder challenge as well, with how it winds around like that. You're probably going to need some tents and stuff. But then moving on to something else that was talked about is there is 2 guns that are now going to be actually available for purchase that weren't previously before. One of these is the 270 Warden, which was available a very long time ago, and it was something to do with if you had a classic account and then had a Call of the Wild account, within the first however many days of Call of the Wild's existence, you could get that gun. So it was, you know, very unavailable for a long time. And also the 7mm Empress Magnum is also going to be available. So that's 2 really nice rifles alongside the new rifles that are going to be added, and I'm definitely looking forward to purchasing both of those. But let's take a look at the brand new rifle that comes with the map DLC. It is the Coleman 22 Hornet. Now, there's a bit of controversy over this, as they do cost 75,000 in-game credits per rifle, and it doesn't look like any of them are mission unlocks. It looks like you just purchase them all like a normal weapon. But the fact that they cost 75,000 each is really interesting, and a lot of people in the stream expressed not being very happy about the fact that they cost so much for a weapon that is a class 1 to 2, and it actually weighs more than the M1. So yeah, it's a little bit interesting, and they said that they were going to take some feedback on that from what was being said in the stream, and maybe that's something they'll alter. And you can also see the 2 different bullet types here, each costing 1,050 for 10 bullets, which is really expensive when you compare it to the 223 polymers just above and the soft points just above. And again, that was something they said that they were going to take feedback on from what people were saying. But let's take a look at one of the new animals, and one of the ones that we got to see in really good detail was the Raccoon. And the Raccoon model is absolutely stunning. I am really pleased with how they've done the Raccoons. They just look absolutely fantastic. And also you'll notice the confirmed trophy button looks a little bit different. Apparently they've changed a couple of little UI things by the sounds of it. So yeah, I actually like how that looks. I think it looks really nice. But as I said, the Raccoon model is just absolutely beautiful. So much detail, and those eyes are really lifelike, which is something I really like to see. Now you can see the harvest screen here for the common raccoon. This is a female and it is a brown fur type. So these guys are going to have a few different fur types. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. Trophy type is actually the weight. So yeah, it's really, really cool to actually see these guys. I'm really excited to see what rares they have and also what the diamonds are going to be like. And from what Jaxie Beard was saying, they will use trash cans as feed zones. That seems to be a thing that has been confirmed, so it's not just like it was a thing for the trailer. He definitely talked about that when it was asked about. And you can see he was using the 22 Hornet on that one, so yeah, that's going to be fun to try out using that gun on these guys. But the second animal that we got to see in the stream a lot of was probably my favourite one to see, and that is the American alligator. Now, I do have some more info on these guys because I made notes through the entire stream, so I will just read out the notes that I made for you guys here. So, gators, you're going to have to shoot them in the brain or lung or heart. If wounded, they'll go deep underwater and they might not resurface. They will be level 9 for the diamonds and they are all the same size. They are very hard to kill and you're looking at 492 on this trophy score to actually make diamond. But Jaxie Beard actually showed him trying to shoot a couple of them, and my gosh, these things are tanks. You need to be really precise with your shots if you want to down them, because like I said, if you shoot them or make them flee, what they'll do is they'll go into the water and you can actually watch them go down deeper into the water and then they just disappear. It's not like they're sort of constantly there, they can just disappear like that, which is a really neat mechanic, and it really is going to mean that getting those brain and heart shots is going to pay off a lot. And I am really happy that we can make brain shots on these guys, because that is something that in real life is very much a thing. You do end up shooting them in the brain. And you can see here's one that he ended up harvesting here. Jaxie Beard shot this one, which is an olive, I guess, skin type. It says fur type, but obviously these guys don't have fur. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting to try and familiarise ourselves with their anatomy and see which shots are going to be good. You can make a double lung shot on them and it does bring them down fairly quickly, but it's all about making sure that they do not get back in that water and go down too deep. If they get into the water and don't go deep enough, they will just float back to the surface. We saw that happen. But once they sort of, if you're spotting them and you see the spotting outline go, they're gone. They're completely gone. And there was no clarification as to whether, say you wound them and it's not a fatal wound, whether those will actually respawn or whether they just despawn completely. So that's going to be something interesting to test out. I'd imagine that wounded ones eventually, like if you restart the map, would come back up, but we don't know at this stage. And yeah, I'm really interested to see what the difference, I guess, like I said, skin and or fur types for those guys is going to be. But something I wanted to take a look at here in this particular screenshot is how beautiful the water detail looks. They have done some really nice improvements on the water detail. I noticed something that when the dog was running through the water, the sort of trail of waves that it was creating were looking a little bit spiky in places. But other than that, it was a really, really nice design of how they've done it, and I actually really like it for an aesthetic purpose. Yeah, they said that there's going to be different, what they've done with the water is going to be applied to different reserves as well, so all of the water textures are going to be improved across reserves, which is really, really nice to see. And yeah, just in general, everything on the map looked really good. TK said that in the play testing it's actually going really smooth. There's only a couple of known issues, like not much compared to what a lot of people would probably expect, because I think a lot of us are used to there being quite a few bugs when the new maps come out. But now let's go through some other notes that I made, and then we'll go through the patch notes that were posted in the Discord. So, TK said that this map was not intended to be Rougarou Bayou from the Hunter Classic 2.0. They said they can add ducks in the future, it is something they can always look at doing, but this was never intended to be a duck map. This was not supposed to be, like I said, like Rougarou on Classic, where you have all of the duck species and it's basically just for shooting ducks. As I mentioned, the raccoons will eat from bins. That was something I noted down. Sim launch across all platforms next Tuesday. So on next Tuesday, Xbox, PS4 and PC, we should all have it at the same time, which is really good to see. It's been quite a long time since we had a simultaneous launch for any of the maps for Call of the Wild. So I'm really, really, really impressed to see that. There's nearly 10 million new players now playing Call of the Wild because of it being free on the Epic Games Store. Now, that's meant, from what they were saying, that they've had a couple of issues with Apex Connect being kind of overloaded, because obviously that's a huge amount of people, nearly 10 million new players. And if you are one of those people and you have somehow found my channel, welcome to the community. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a really fun game, and yeah, I think you guys will have a really good time with it. Black Bear and others have had new fur textures, from what they were saying. Apparently the black bears on the new map look absolutely fantastic because of these new fur texture things that they were saying, that they've made them look a lot better. And I'm really, really keen to see what those actually look like. I'm very, very excited about that. There's a new Trurak species coming out. It's the lesser kudu on Vurhonga Savannah. So it seems like finally we are starting to get some Truraks being introduced into Vurhonga. So maybe we will see something like Cape Buffalo in the coming months. You know, all the different horned animals getting those Truraks. It will be very exciting to see where they go from that. With this new map, the FPS issues that have been occurring have apparently been resolved. From what TK was saying, they have actually fixed that. So again, that will be something that's really positive coming along with the new map. Yeah, it's going to be actually, I think, really interesting based off of everything that they've said and all of those improvements. So let's take a look at the patch notes for the new map. Now, this was posted into the official Discord earlier, so I'm just going to read out everything that was on it. So it says, Mississippi Acres Preserve patch notes, releasing December 7th. Please note this list is not final and is subject to change prior to release. New features. Trurax is now enabled for the lesser kudu. Improvements. We've made some significant FPS changes to boost performance. Massive overhauls to animal update threading. Improvements to population distribution on reserves, which is a work in progress. Increase LOD granularity across species needing LOD improvements. We've conducted some fur quality enhancements for all animals. And we've retouched visuals for water in lakes and rivers. There's been a visual overhaul for some of the input icons and buttons, and the feeding clue meshes for predators, brackets no more blood splatters, have been updated. Bug fixes, critical and featured. Fix the issue of various weapon packs and Parque Fernando DLC missing from Xbox players' libraries. Fix the broken fast travel issues across a number of reserves. The dog collision with the player's character is fixed. Animals and environment. Radio towers across various reserves no longer defy gravity. Animals will not become unharvestable if there are too many corpses unclaimed. Fix the problem of European rabbits not fleeing into their burrows as they should in Hirschfelden. Sounds will not persist anymore after walking through bushes. Standardized fur rarity tier weighting for all species. Did a naming pass on all fur variations. All should now have string names and not be common. So basically, animals that we have been knowing as common for the longest time will now actually have a fur type name. So it's going to be interesting to see what some of those new names are. Weapons, gear and character. Turkey callers are now included in Rancho del Arroyo Reserve. User interface and multiplayer. Multiplayer. Fixed a crash that could occur when showing waypoints to another player. And discovering a new need zone no longer causes the previously discovered need zone to disappear on the map UI. So I don't know if that means that we're going to finally have multiple need zone icons instead of just having, say, a Gemsbok zone that shares a zone with jackals, but it only says that there's Gemsbok there, and you kind of have to remember that there's jackals that drink there. It will be interesting if there's actually going to be multiple icons for different species that share the same need zone. But that is pretty much going to be it in terms of new information. Now, I am not a community creator for EW. I am trying to get to be a community content creator eventually, but I'm not at the moment. So I must shout out Flinter, Scarecrow, and Kill Clinton. All three of them are going to be doing, stuff on the new map, as well as the other content creators that you can see in their Discord. But big shout out to those three because I think they're all really fantastic. Casey and Scarecrow are both doing 24-hour live streams, I think both starting today. I'll share those in my YouTube community tab as well if you guys want to go and check them out. I really do highly recommend going and seeing what they're going to be sharing because it's going to be really interesting. That's going to be it for this video though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it has been in some way helpful and informative. And I want to say again, big thank you to all the new subscribers and all of the support that I've had recently. It's just really incredible and it's blowing me away. I just can't believe you're all so awesome. Thank you so much. But that is going to be it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.